Today I'm going to be doing my round 4 review for AFL SUPERCOACH 2021. I scored 2,282 and ranked 265th. So in this video I'm going to first be going over some trading options for Daniel, and then I'll be showing you my own trades. Please like, subscribe and comment any questions or anything you have to say about the video. So Daniel scored only 19 on the weekend, and it's probably going to be suspended as well. So I've definitely got to trade him, but who for? So we have first some options in the 450 to 500k mark. So these guys are for maybe if you don't have as much cash on hand, and yeah. So I'm going to go through who you should get and then who you shouldn't get. So I reckon, in my opinion, Cher is a great replacement for Daniel if you're looking for a pod, as he is currently in just 4% of teams. So Cher broke out last year, taking his average from 64 to 90, and seems to be doing it again this year as he develops further as a player and moves into a more prominent role in Fremantle's midfield. In the first 4 rounds of the season, he managed scores of 122, 120, 56, and another 120. The 56 can be considered a bit of an outlier though, as Carlton completely dominated the Supercoach points in that game, 1,918 to 1,382, which makes Fremantle's performance the second worst Supercoach-wise for the season so far. In addition to his increasing scoring capabilities, Cher is also a very durable player, playing 21 games in 2018, 20 games in 2019, and the full 17 games in 2020. I predict Cher to average around 105 to 110 this year, which is good enough for a keeper in the midfield, and at his current price of 494k, I reckon it's a bargain. So who shouldn't you get? So I reckon Bashahuli is a bit of a trap this year. He's 32 years old now, which means his best scores are most likely behind him. For him to be a keeper in our backline, we need him to average at least 100, which he's only done once before in his career. On top of that, there's also a lot of potential downside in this pick. Over the last few years, his durability has been really bad. So from 2016 to 2020, he played 12, 18, 13, 19, and 9 games respectively. All in all, I just think there's too much risk in this pick and not enough, there's not a really good chance of any reward. Okay, so now some players a bit more expensive if you have a bit more money in the bank. So 500 to 550k. So who should you be getting in? I reckon you should be getting in Jane Short. He accumulates a lot of possessions every game, and is a great user of the ball with one of the longest kicks in the AFL. Unlike some other halfbacks, Short can also win the ball himself, which adds another avenue for his scoring. It was good to see that Hooley's returned in effective scoring, which could have been a concern. Based on this, I predict him to average 110 to 120 this year, and yeah, he should be in the top 5 defenders. So who shouldn't you get? Just click who shouldn't you get. I reckon Jeremy Howe's a bit of a trap this year as well. So when you really look at his scoring over the years, there really is no consistent history. There isn't one year in his career where he's actually been a keeper. If you take away his 2020 season, where he played just 4 games, his highest average over his career has only been 94. So I reckon there are a lot of good options in defence this year, and honestly, I don't think there's any reason to pick Jeremy Howe. So now, if you have a heap of cash in the bank, here are some of the more expensive options. So who do I think you should get? I reckon Jordan Ridley. You probably saw this coming, but He has the highest number of SuperCoach points of any player so far. And yeah, he's basically everything you could want as a defender. I mean, he takes kickouts, intercept marks, accumulates the ball, and goes at a really high efficiency. You need this guy in your team as soon as possible, or you'll be losing tons of points every round. It's very hard to find the cash to get him in, and getting Daniel out is a pretty good way to get him in now, just before his price skyrockets. So who shouldn't you get? Jake Lloyd. He's probably in most teams already, but if he isn't, I wouldn't be rushing to get him in. So Jordan Dawson is stealing a few kickouts this year, and it's becoming a bit clear that last year was probably a bit of an outlier. So FootyWire projects him to drop to around 565k in the next few rounds, so I'd probably be waiting till then to bring him in. So we'll get into the trades, but just before that, I traded in Chapman for Kaczynski last week, just at the last minute, so I didn't get to show that in my video. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to trade out Dow, because yeah, he's been playing horrible and literally hardly made any money at all. So we will trade in Waterman, so just get in. I like Waterman. Yeah, looks really good, and yeah, should make us some cash. The other thing I wanted to do, I'm not sure yet, but I think Scott is probably going to get dropped. So I'm just looking to trade him for someone, but I'm not really sure yet. If you have any suggestions, so maybe Perkins or Robertson, but I'm not really sure yet, so I'll just leave that. But definitely, if you have any suggestions, please comment. So anyway, I will try to complete those trades, and now have 112k in the bank, so that's pretty good. So anyway, we'll just see who we're gonna captain, vice captain this week. If we can, we'll look at the fixtures. So usually I vice captain Grundy if he's playing that early, but he's probably going to be going up against Nick Nat, so I might VC McRae just because he's going up against Gold Coast, probably one of the easier midfields. And obviously Gorn's been going really well. Yeah, so I'll probably captain Gorn, but for the moment I'll keep on my loophole combo. I'll probably field Waterman over Rowe, and then a pretty tough decision in the midfield, but I'm going to put Berry on instead of Jordan. Yeah, it was looking good in the first 2 rounds, but yeah, hasn't, yeah. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and comment, and yeah, thanks for watching.